Cheaters are in any game. Fortnite, Apex Legends, Overwatch, you name a game, it has cheaters. They modify the executable of the game to gain an advantage over people that do not cheat, ruining the experience for everyone. And that's the reason why the objective number one for the devs is to defeat the cheats. And actually they find a way to do so, or at least partially. I remember back in the day in 2010 when I was playing Warrock, the cheaters were able to do anything. They had infinite ammo, infinite health, they were able to fly around, kill everyone at the beginning of the match, through walls, throw nades like rivers, and do very crazy stuff. But now you don't see this type of things any longer. You will never see a lobby completely cleared out at the beginning in Fortnite or Overwatch. And in this video we will find out how devs have defeated those cheats. The reason why the cheaters were so effective was because the multiplayer implementation was extremely naive. The way it worked was that the client was sending all the information like the health, the ammo, the shooting, even the player position to a server, and the server was echoing, was spreading all the information to the other clients that were then displaying those information. Now let's do an example so that you can visualize what's going on and why this is a problem. Let's assume that you are shooting to another player and at some point you hit that player. Your client generates an information, the hit information, and sends that to the server, and the server bounces back to the player that completes the health and updates the health by sending the information to the server and then back to everyone else. In this way, you damage the player. In case that player instead is a cheater, what happens is that when you send the information of the hit to the server and then the server back to the cheater, what the cheater does is to ignore that information so that the health is never depleted. Okay, let's figure out this problem together. We know that the clients cannot be trusted because their local executable can be modified, and there is no way to prevent that. The only executable that we can trust is the one that is running on the server. No one have access to it, so no one can modify that. Something we can do is to send raw inputs to the server and let the server figuring out the player position, health, ammo, etc. The problem, the time needed from the client to send the inputs to the server, waiting the server to processing that input and the inputs to receive back to the client is so big that is noticeable, and this is called input latency. Big input latency make the game unplayable, and that's the reason why back in the day it was a no-go creating a game with so high input latency. It's much better to have a game that is playable but with some cheats. However, smart people have found a solution to this problem that was running the client like it was before, but instead of sending the states to the server like the health, the position of the player, the client is now sending inputs to the server. The server is processing those inputs, is figuring out the player position, health and other information on their own, and then it's spreading that information to everyone else. So if the client is trying to cheat by, for example, ignoring a damage, since the damage is now processed by the server, there is no way for the client to cheat and receiving infinite health, infinite ammo, or flying as it was before. And thanks to this much more elegant solution, the devs were able to defeat cheats, or at least partially. I find this solution super elegant, to be honest, but despite that, not every dev is choosing this solution because of two very big drawbacks. The complexity of the system, so it will take time to integrate it well, and the other one is the server cost. Think about that. Now you have to run an entire game on the server. It means that the number of servers that you need for the same number of players is much bigger. It means that the servers will cost a lot more. For small games, this is a no-go, especially if they are mobile games and such. But despite that, the problem of cheats is not entirely defeated. There are still two types of cheats that are extremely annoying, like the wallhack and the aimbot. These two cheats are very difficult to defeat because they rely on information that every other legit player needs, like the player position. And on another video we'll talk more on how devs are solving this problem using very elaborate solution and what the research is doing on this front. But for now, that's all. Thank you very much. Bye.